Oh my gosh, that was so epic. I think that's it. There he is. You guys ready? Let's pull it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Hey! And JB's on there! 600! 600! Yes! Yay! 600 mile time. That would be just. So here we are, back with the real supercharger. Okay, we are on the test track.
They'd recommend putting your head on the headrest.
Okay.
There he's ready. Nope.
Yep. Oh. Oh, there it goes. Oh. Oh, that never gets old either. We have the post-study production cars here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, oh yeah, you watch it.
But why is he gonna throw it?
I don't know, but we're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
She just used a sledgehammer. What?
Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
I'm Eric, otherwise known as Derek, here in Shanghai at Gigafactory 3.
Ballapalooza. It's like tricks.
3, 2, 1.
Will it wipe is the big question of the day.
Will it wipe?
Generic cornflakes.
Whoa! It's raining cornflakes! Oh. This is trippy. Look, there's nothing here.
Hello once again. Today is Sunday, December 19th, and I am David. This is Eric. Together we are Derek, and we're here to share an evening of Tesla-related news with you once again. And after we go over the news, we'll just open it up to questions and answers and just hang out and chat.
Yes, what he said. And to answer the questions in chat,
Cameron?
not a gray shirt.
Yeah, mine's like bluish gray. So.
They were thinking I was
Okay.
going to have a gray
Okay,
shirt.
yeah.
Blue shirt. Gotcha, guys. But yeah, welcome. Hopefully everyone had a good week. It's been a busy week here, as usual. We've gotten a lot of good Tesla stuff. First and foremost, I think I would like to start off with an announcement.
What is it?
Hopefully people check out the stream that are not in it right now. But I have been working very hard with Abstract Ocean, our channel sponsor. And actually just the other day, I got the final product for Model S and S refresh, the final design.
You should rotate it though because it's
fits.
horizontal screen.
It ships Coming soon. They're not necessarily available to order quite yet, but there's a link in the description. If you want, you can go ahead and click it, go to their website and fill out and put your email address in, and as soon as they land, you'll be able to be notified. But I did the final fitment check this week, and we're a go. I'm super excited. It sounds stupid, but I'm really happy with the way they came out, and I think all you guys will too. And yes, they are big because obviously Model S refresh.
Yeah.
Big.
So 17-inch horizontal
Yep.
screen protectors, both matte and
The clear.
clear.
And in case you guys didn't see, hopefully we're still live.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, sorry, the thing reset. It is front and rear. Hey.
Oh, it includes both of them?
Both of them.
Wow, package deal.
There will be, I believe, just fronts if you want to buy that, but my advice would be able to get the rear as well, especially if you have kids, because kids love to kick. And this is me kicking. I don't want to kick that high. But anyway, kids love to kick, and that screen is not cheap, so I would definitely protect that. But that was my big announcement right now. So we're going to go and get right into the news, and then we'll kind of open it up for chat, go ahead and hang out with you guys, and just talk Tesla with you for an hour or hour and a half-ish. But first thing we wanted to kind of go over, since we didn't have a live chat last week, is we want to talk about Tesla. It has been official now that their headquarters have moved to Austin, Texas. And so, like Elon has said, though, this doesn't necessarily mean they're closing up shop in Palo Alto or anything like that. To be honest, it seems it's merely for tax purposes. And a lot of, higher reasons than that. It's not like they're moving everything out of California. I don't think there's really much to be said or looked into with that, at least yet. But this is, an official thing for their whole company headquarters. So I think it's more for tax purposes.
Yeah, and also, so Elon himself can now be
Exactly.
based out of Texas, where I don't think there's a state income tax.
Exactly.
So he can save a lot there. Well, he still
And
has
Tesla can too,
He still
hopefully.
has to save or pay billions on his federal income taxes. He'll at least save a little on state taxes,
Yeah.
as will
And-
Tesla itself.
Exactly. And the cool thing, if you haven't really been paying attention too much with Elon and his net worth and selling and everything, he has actually, I think he's 80 or 85% of the way through selling his 10% of his personal shares. And I think someone calculated it out, and it's $13 billion tax liability. This is not cheap by any means, but he's not really diluting himself because he's selling some, but he's also taking advantage of some of his incentives that he was offered early on and buying a lot of them back at $6 a share.
Yeah, so he's actually going to own more shares.
Exactly.
While he's selling 10%, he's going to end up owning more.
Exactly.
At the end of the year, or maybe next year. I think he can actually option or exercise some of his options into middle of next year. But by the end, when he's done with that, he will actually own more than what he has had before he started selling.
Exactly. So
that makes
for all
sense.
the people that are out there spreading the news that Elon is divesting himself from Tesla, that couldn't be further than the truth. He's actually going to own more, but he's doing this for kind of tax purposes and everything. So FYI, that's kind of what's been floating around. Next up, though, faulty cameras on SX and Model 3.
Yeah, and this is some news that hit a little over a week ago. But again, we didn't have a
Yeah.
live stream last week, so we didn't cover it. But basically, there's some internal documents and some some service visits. Basically, Tesla had some faulty cameras, some faulty batches that were causing problems with autopilot. And basically, they're contacting owners and they're swapping out those cameras so that they can work properly with autopilot. And was it all model 3?
So it's only
S
in
and-
some, and it's because
Not
of
all vehicles,
faulty
yeah.
circuit boards that could have been inside. So it's not all of them. It's
Yeah.
only ones built from a certain batch, and Tesla knows exactly what batch that is. So if you haven't been reached out to yet, I would kind of assume that you probably are safe.
Yeah, and if you're not having any problems, don't worry
yeah.
about it. But if you do have a camera that like goes black or something, try rebooting. If you still see the issue, then you might contact Tesla, try to make a service appointment, and then they'll check out and see if you are on the list of cars that are affected by that issue. But again, it's not a huge issue, and it shouldn't prevent you from driving the car. It's just something they are trying to be proactive and get those swapped out. And as we talked about in weeks past, Tesla is kind of upgrading those old Autopilot 2 vehicles.
Very slowly.
Very slowly. And those are vehicles that were built between October 2016 and August 2017. And those have those RCCC cameras, which isn't as true of a color as the RCCB cameras, which came with Autopilot 2.5 and newer. And basically, Elon had mentioned, yeah, you're going to need a camera upgrade to get full self-driving beta and the full self-driving functionality in the future. And they did, Tesla has been contacting a few people, but not a lot. So they're rolling out very slowly, just a part shortage, and they're sending out kits around the country. So it's not like they're doing California first, but they are, sending those parts around. And as those service centers get them, they are contacting people and inviting them in to get those upgraded. And those are a free upgrade for people who have purchased full self-driving and have those older Autopilot 2 cars. Even if you've already been upgraded, like with the MCU2 and the full self-driving computer, you still need the cameras upgraded, and that's going to be the side repeater cameras, the B-pillar cameras, as well as the triple camera up in front. And we are still waiting for our S100D to get it upgraded. We're not in any rush. Maybe by the beginning of next year we'll inquire about it, but right now we are still waiting on that upgrade. We do have the repeater cameras. We upgraded those ourselves. They work great, but in order to get the rest done, we're going to contact Tesla. But we've heard some people who have those cameras, they still don't have full self-driving beta because it looks like there's still some software changes that are needed before Tesla will enable it for those vehicles.
Yeah, so again, though, surely but slowly, they are rolling it out. Hopefully we get invited soon. Yeah. I guess time will tell. Next up, so I posted on Twitter this week. If you haven't, definitely go drop a follow there. And we have found some Model 3 and Model Y changes thanks to Evisa on a European Tesla owners forum. So most notable for Model 3 and Y is their new computer. So potential
the MCU, right? So it's going to be kind of like
new infotainment. Yeah. So hopefully it's the Ryzen, like the Model S and X refresh.
Yeah.
Because it is super fast, speedy, everything. They also list the lithium-ion battery. It's their 12-volt replacement. It's actually 15.5 volts, though. Again, much like the refresh S and X. Interior cabin radar. So originally I had thought that was new, but a lot of people have said Model S and X's have come with that in Europe anyway, due to
for their security.
The security thing. But I'm still kind of curious as to what that might entail, because the refresh S and X, not only does it have that security cabin camera, but it also has 2 IR blasters on either side so it can see at nighttime. So the in-cabin radar, it might be the same thing that S and X have been getting, but I'm curious to see, is there something new with that? Next up, the interior cabin infrared camera, like I had just mentioned, as well as laminated glass in the rear. Previously, it had only been in the front. And there's also a bunch of other things like the super horn. It's a 3-in-1 horn, alarm, and speaker. So that could replace the horn as well as the external pedestrian warning speaker. Interesting. Updating windshield washer fluid pump because of the 15.5 volt battery. So I don't know. There's some interesting things here, though. If you want to check everything out, definitely check it out. It was on Twitter. I posted it on December 8th. And then there's also kind of another breakdown here. Just some interesting things. Hopefully, though, that's a sign of things coming to U.S.-built cars.
Yeah, no worries. Hopefully that will show up. A lot of those changes will show up here as well. And
yeah,
we also heard like vehicles from China also having, like in the Model Y, a cargo cover.
Yeah, a built-in cargo.
And instead of needing to get an aftermarket one. So it'll be interesting to see if Tesla starts offering all those changes in the United States as well.
Yeah, it is interesting, though, that we're seeing a lot of these changes originate in Shanghai and then slowly brought over here. It makes sense for parts, logistics, and everything, because I'm sure a lot of that is built over there. But it is kind of interesting to see. It almost appears like Shanghai is kind of taken over, like getting all like the groundbreaking new things, which is interesting because normally that's always been Fremont. So next up, so Tesla insurance. I hit and miss on Tesla insurance for me. I don't know how I feel about them tracking everything I do. I don't normally like insurance companies being able to monitor my vehicles because they don't really see the whole picture. They only see a snapshot. And so if I'm slamming on my brakes to avoid a deer, which, sorry, Jay, I saw your comment. Hopefully your Model Y gets all fixed up. But if you slam on your brakes to try to like avoid a deer, it registers a hard brake, but it doesn't tell you, or it doesn't report to them, they did this to avoid something. So it kind of like dings against you. And I don't know how I feel really about that. But Tesla insurance is launching in Illinois using real-time driving behavior. I'm sure we're going to see it launched in maybe a few other states coming Q1. I'm not going to hold my breath on that, but I would be surprised if it doesn't hit a few other states. Now, I guess the one cool thing with that is we could always check and see our rate without signing up, because they kind of like collect that data anyway, and we can see kind of how it looks. But I just don't know how I feel about that, especially if we're going to be taking a car to a track or something like that. Like,
Yeah, how are you going to tell them? Yeah.
Exactly.
Then again, maybe it
see,
shouldn't go, I don't know.
I don't know. But it could be weird, so I probably won't use it, but the fact that they are rolling out is great. And I've seen a lot of people actually say that their rates were a lot lower with Tesla insurance.
Yeah, definitely would have to be a lot lower, but
Yeah.
we, through our insurance, we have homeowners insurance and vehicle insurance through the same company, so we get like 30 or 40 or 50%
As well as the umbrella.
Yeah, so we have
yeah.
all these discounts, and if we were to cancel our auto insurance and put that through Tesla, then our rates on the homeowners insurance would go up. So it would have to be really big savings on auto policy to have, separate insurance companies like that. So it's not something that we would automatically switch to if it's available. But I definitely could see, for renters or other people that don't have those combined policy discounts, definitely something to look into.
Oh yeah, for sure. And something that we will look into regardless, but will we make the switch? Probably not. Unless Tesla starts offering homeowners insurance and everything too, in which case, probably more likely for us to jump over. So next up, I get this question several times a week from people emailing or DMing or whatever about the tax credit and where we are in that. How does it look? Well, currently they were trying to remove the union clause from the tax credit.
Still just changing all kinds of things. And it's been going back and forth, for, I don't know if it's 8 months or something like that. But the latest news is that Manchin is still holding out, and it's probably not going to pass this year.
Definitely not this year, I don't think.
For all those people that held out, hoping that it would apply, it's not going to happen. It doesn't look like it. Hopefully will come back sometime in January, and hopefully it will be at least retroactive to the beginning of 2022.
Yeah.
But really, it doesn't look like it's going to cover any cars that were from 2021.
Yeah, but I mean, if this kind of holding out continues happening, it may never pass. I would hope they would do something eventually, but the timing is just so unclear that nobody really knows where we're going to end up. And that is kind of the down point right now, because I know a lot of people are holding out.
A lot of people have delayed their deliveries for like January 1st, and guess what? If there's still no tax credit and you've already said you're going to take delivery, Tesla's going to expect you to take delivery. And we did hear that at the beginning of December, a lot of people who had their vehicles on hold were being contacted by Tesla and said, you need to take delivery now. You've already delayed it multiple times, or you've delayed it for 6 months, and they're telling people you need to take delivery by the end of the year. So if you tried to delay it again, Tesla might end up canceling some of those orders. And we have heard from people who have said they have had their orders canceled.
Yeah, I see Manchin said today, after 5.5 months of discussions and negotiations, I cannot vote to continue with this piece of legislation. They could make it and rewrite it and kind of submit
it could totally
again.
change. And right now there's income limits,
so,
there's limits on the price of the vehicles, and there's all these different components for whether it's U.S.-made battery or union-made or this or that. And definitely, it seems to me there's some stuff that we definitely don't agree with in there.
Oh, yeah.
So I would rather it not pass until they get everything straightened out.
And I mean,
make it fair for all automotive manufacturers, not just union, based companies like Ford and GM who have been, lobbying to get it passed. But that there's other auto manufacturers, even Honda and these other companies that build cars in the United States but don't necessarily have unions. They should be able to get the same incentives.
Yeah. So I would think they're going to start working obviously on a new bill, but again, it could get kind of stonewalled too. But even Elon came out and said he would prefer, if anything, don't allow any kind of like tax credits or anything across the entire board. And that would include ICE vehicles because they can get some in different government agencies and all this and that. So maybe we never will see anything. I guess that's the takeaway here is it may never happen. And if you have your car on hold, you might have to come to a tough decision of, are you willing to keep waiting and waiting and waiting for something that may never happen?
Especially with the price increases that we've seen, because if you would have taken delivery back earlier in 2021, prices were a lot cheaper, and it would have covered that tax credit, the potential tax credit. But now, as of Tesla has raised prices due to maybe the tax credit, but also to supply chain constraints, you might end up paying more or about the same, even though you delayed your purchase for 9 months.
Yeah, real quick, Money Mike actually said Tesla's allowing him to delay the car for 3 months until March 1st. So if they don't pass it by then, I'll just go ahead and buy it without the credits. Yep. So, I mean, that's cool that they're at least giving people those 3 months.
And as we've talked about in the past, the way that the current potential bill is, it would only really apply to the Model 3 and the Model Y, because the S and X would be too expensive. They would be over the price limit.
And I don't think the 3 Performance and the Y Performance
they would be too
count
expensive
either.
as well. And it's unfortunate just that the price limits seem to be too low to me, because if the true goal is to get EVs purchased, I think they should allow you to buy any EV. I mean, yeah, definitely if there's a multi-million-dollar EV or 250,000,
that's different.
That's, maybe they don't really need the tax credit, but they still are EVs, and they're going to be probably replacing the purchase of an ICE vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, real quick on that note, a lot of people have asked us why we get Teslas so often and why we upgrade like we do, and how is that helping the environment or anything like that. But in the grand scheme of it, the way we kind of look at it is, yes, when we buy a new one, it might not be the most ideal, but when we sell one used, it gets sold for quite a discount. So it's helping somebody that maybe potentially couldn't afford one or didn't want to spend that much money get into one a little bit cheaper. So I think I'm kind of like all for used EVs, and maybe those in the new bill might get some kind of incentive. Potential,
there's
smaller,
wording in there that used EVs could apply again. And that's something the state of Colorado had several years ago. Back, I think, in the end of 2016 is where it ended. But basically, used EVs qualified for like a $6,000 tax credit in the state of Colorado. And Colorado was importing EVs from all around the country. A lot of them came from California, but people set up whole businesses importing, like Nissan Leafs and Teslas from California, because they were able to resell those used vehicles for a lot cheaper here because of that tax credit.
Exactly.
Or for the buyer, with the tax credit, it made it a lot cheaper overall.
Yeah, so that might be something we see. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they can kind of work on that. So next up, we've talked a little bit in the past about icing. And what exactly is that term mean? Icing is basically when an ICE vehicle or internal combustion engine vehicle parks at a EV charger. Not necessarily Tesla, this could be any of them, and basically blocks that from being used by an EV to charge, coin the term icing, basically. And so in China, they're taking some ways to try to defeat this, and I would like to see this actually move over to the US as well. But they have these little devices.
And they've had them for a while at some locations. But these devices are, block the parking spot, which basically prevent non-EVs or people who don't have access to the spots from parking there, and that leaves them open to EVs. The thing is that in the past it required like another app in order to get that to basically remote control, and you can have it lower down so you don't crash into it with your vehicle. But now Tesla, in their latest versions of the mobile app, have it so, at least in China, you can actually control those directly from your app. You basically pull in and you tell it which stall you're going to be pulling to, and you can remote control it and lower it down. And that's just one way that you can, allow EV spots to remain open for EVs. Now they're cool, as Eric said, they're nice. Only thing potential I see, I've seen people talking about these around the world. I think in the United States these would not work the way they are because we're very prone to lawsuits here, and I could see people easily tripping over those
or running over it,
or even in a nice vehicle crashing
Yeah.
into it. They're gonna then sue Tesla saying, hey, this is a hazard. Or even in the northern states and stuff like that where there's a lot of snow, that could be a hazard if the
For
snowplow and stuff like that. So I could see them definitely maybe in parking garages, stuff like that. But we've seen in China they have them at some external spots too, but those might be places that don't get snow. But definitely something that could come to the United States, but I think it would take a redesign of some sort to make it taller or more obvious, like lit up or several feet tall, so that if a car isn't there, if you had like a 4 or 5 foot pylon or something that's all lit up and red, that people would see it and they're not going to crash their car into it or trip over it. So definitely it's a good idea, but it's going to take a redesign before you're going to see those in the United States.
Definitely refinement before we can see them. I definitely think it's more of like a first gen kind of product. But it's cool to see that they're kind of thinking of it, because I hate to say it, we've been seeing a lot more and more on Twitter, especially. We see a lot of pictures that people will post there and tag us. And it is kind of sad when a lot of the times it's these giant trucks that like to park there. And
or sometimes
it's
pickup
stupid.
trucks with
It's
trailers
stupid.
and stuff, and they just park and block almost
All of
6
them,
or 8
yeah.
of the stalls, and it's just like sometimes they're oblivious, they're just not paying attention. But I think a lot of times they are doing it intentionally, just trying to rub it in and make it harder for EVs to travel.
Yep. And I will call a tow truck if I ever see that.
And definitely take
No
pictures
problem.
if you do see those. Take
And
pictures,
tag us.
post it online and tag us. Definitely, we will talk about that, because there are laws in many states, and Colorado is one of them, where if properly signed parking spots, or EV spots, I should say, have blocked by a non-charging vehicle, they can actually be towed and fined.
Yeah.
So there's other states that have it as well, but definitely, definitely need to get the word on that they should not be blocking those spots.
Yep. Okay. Next up, so Model S and X, we've talked about it. We love it. The refresh, so excited for it. But now the delivery time has been pushed back.
For new
orders. I mean, actually for current reservation holders as well, because our X is now scheduled for February, which kind of sucks.
It's been February for a couple months, but yeah.
Yep. But if you go to buy a new S or X, you're looking at late 2022 now. I think Plaid is a little different, but I'd say long range is probably the most popular anyway, trim. So if you go to buy one, let's see here, what is it now? July of 2022 for a long range S, and a long range X, I think, is even January of 2023.
Wow.
So X's and even Plaid is October of 2022. So X's, basically, you're not gonna see one for sale by Tesla for quite a while.
And hopefully this is the worst case scenario.
Yes.
Hopefully they're able to ramp things up and maybe eliminate some of the delays or in the supply chain and get the cars here sooner. We have heard of some people who have like a February date for their Model X, and then within an hour they actually do see a VIN assigned and they get a call saying, hey, are you able to take delivery this week? So I think Tesla's trying to lower your expectations and say, it's gonna be a while, but there's still a chance for some people that you will get your car sooner. You might not have to wait a year for that delivery. And speaking of deliveries, as Eric said, our Model X order that we put in last December, so December of 2020, it was originally supposed to have a delivery date of August, and then it got delayed to January, then delayed to February, sorry.
Yep.
It's still a February, so that's what we're counting on. But the good news is at the other order that we put in right back, I think it was either end of December last year or beginning of January, we did put in an order for a Model S long range at the time. And we were offered a vehicle a couple weeks ago back at the end of November. We decided we wanted to wait a little bit longer, and we have received a VIN for that car. So we are expecting to take delivery of the new Model S soon, by the end of the year. So we're very excited for that.
Very, very excited for that.
And we've been waiting for that white on white. So it's white exterior, white interior. It's the typically, or in the past it was called the long range. Now it's just Model S, but it's in the non-Plaid one. We do still have the Plaid for now.
Yep. So kind of a little update for us. Real quick, we have 2 super chats.
Ooh, thanks.
John, thank you for the $10 super chat. Appreciate that. Said Minnesota and Illinois have a state law for 0 deductible on glass. I don't think we'll ever get Tesla insurance here because I think Tesla has insurance at $100 or $1,000 deductible on glass.
Oh, 1,000 for glass?
For glass.
Wow, that's crazy.
Nuts. He said FSD still stops 70 from the driveway. Yeah. So my FSD, when I'm on beta, it will not actually like drive me into our driveway. It actually stops in front of my neighbor's house.
Yeah.
Kind of
That's crazy. That's nice to hear
But
that they do have like no
1,000?
deductible on the glass, but I can imagine with, you know, a lot of snow up stuff up there that there's a lot of broken windshields
Yeah.
when if there's gravel or salt or something. But we have glass coverage. We didn't have it originally, but after a couple years back, was it in 2018 or so, we did have a cracked windshield on one of the Model 3s.
Yep.
And so we did go ahead and buy glass coverage. I don't remember, it's not huge. I don't know if it's like $50 or $100 a year or something like that, but basically it'll pay for itself if we ever do have a problem. But luckily, you know,
It's only been on that one Model 3.
of all the what,
1 out of 14 cars.
13 so
13
far.
cars,
13,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm already excited for that.
We're
new
already
Model
counting
S.
the next one. So.
And real quick, Pierre, thank you for the $10 super chat
Oh,
as
thanks,
well.
Pierre.
Said fix the crazy noise coming from the wheel well, rotated and remounted the tires. I wonder if maybe one of them wasn't tightened all the way with that center hub, potentially.
That's weird.
Also, any news with the aftermarket lights for Model S? Do you think the new taillights will be retrofitted? So, great questions.
Oh, yeah,
and actually, that was
that's on
one of
our list,
yep.
yeah.
So we'll just go ahead and cover that now. Aftermarket taillights and headlights for Model S are in development. Hopefully, we'll have some news on that. Maybe in a month or so. We just need to make sure everything's good with those. And then new taillights. So Model S has some new taillights.
I think we even saw a Model X that had the new potential taillights, but we have no idea yet. Will these be coming out
when?
You know, in beginning of January, or is it still 6 months? We don't know yet. But Tesla has been spotted with Model S, Model X new taillights.
Yup, and so we have some pictures here. So this is an S here. It's hard to necessarily tell. These are very pixelated pictures. It is what it is. But you can see that line across the bottom is a dead giveaway because it used to have like a little U in white. And also the trim piece is no longer across the back. But I will say that hatch is meant for that trim piece because you see that line across the top. That's where the trim piece actually sits in. So that kind of tells me that they're not quite ready to release them just yet. But I went ahead and posted this also on Twitter outlining this. You can see the original Model S taillights here. Actually, I can make this picture bigger, I think. Can I? Nope, just kidding.
Yeah, control.
And then you can see the new design kind of down below. Now, will these be retrofittable has been a huge question that we've been getting. To be honest, I'm going to go out on a limb and say no.
Probably not.
Because the new design, the rear applique is not there. So you would need a whole different hatch. You would need different taillights. I'm willing to bet Tesla will not be able to retrofit these.
And also,
that being said, though, am I willing to give it a try?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But also one reason we don't think they will be retrofittable is it looks like they might have made it bigger, kind of like on the Model 3 and the Model Y,
Yes.
so that it would be able to accommodate a larger charge port, such as a CCS port or the port that they use in China, without requiring a second port. And,
yeah, because before the little port, it was like right here. And so now the port is huge, much like the Model 3 and Model Y. It's like almost the entire side of the taillight on the side of the car.
And so it's possible, we talked about this when the Model 3 came out, if they really crammed it in there right, you could still have a Tesla port and a CCS port, or would they go with just a CCS port? Quite possible.
Yeah, that would be really interesting if
I
they
don't
did
think that's
that,
going to happen
because-
anytime soon, but I think it's definitely good that they are making, especially for markets like Europe that
True.
do have the CCS2, that way by default, the S and X, when they are built and delivered there, they don't need to use an adapter anymore. Because right now, the 3 and the Y in Europe can charge natively on CCS, but the S and X both need an upgrade to their charging system. Well, older ones need to upgrade. Some of them have the newer hardware that allows it, but they need to use an adapter to allow them to use CCS. But with this, they would be able to have a native CCS charge port in Europe and other countries.
Yeah. But
Probably not going to have it in the United States just yet,
Yeah,
but at
definitely.
least there's room for it for the rest of the global market.
Yeah. As of right now, we don't believe the Refresh S coming will have those new taillights or anything. That being said, as soon as they become available, I will definitely order a set and we will give it a shot. I don't see why not.
I just think that the body, those body panels in the back are going to be different.
They very well could be.
It probably won't allow it. But we'll see. We'll give it a try. But that kind of leads, since we're on the subject of the Model S and X, we have seen there's like internal documentation going around that the S and X lines will be shut down starting December 24th for 18 days. And we saw this in the past last year where they said they were shutting down for a couple weeks, and then there were a couple months before they could roll out the refreshed S and X. And so it's interesting they're shutting it down for another 18 days. And some people said, well, the demand's not there. The demand is there because they have a year's worth of orders.
Yeah.
And they have the past year people are still waiting, but they have the current 2021 people have ordered, and now they're not expected to deliver until 2022, 2023. So the demand is there. So if they're shutting down for another 18 days, maybe there's going to be a few more changes. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know. It would be kind of interesting. I'm kind of torn about whether or not we'd see the changes quite yet.
And we're hoping that there's not huge changes because we're supposed to take delivery, of course, of our new Model S, by the end of the year. And but that's pretty much a guarantee because in the past, whenever we take delivery of a new car,
something new comes
within
out.
a week or two, something big drops. And so,
I guess we'll see. I'm not really holding my breath though because really the cars we've seen didn't appear very finished. The trunk hatch wasn't right or something else, and they have to test these lights for quite a bit. So this could be like the initial test batch. It might not even happen for 6 months. You never really know with Tesla, so I don't think we're gonna let this affect our delivery, but
we'll still be happy with it. I mean,
yes.
Even if it comes out with CCS or something and we don't get it, that's fine because the supercharger network is good enough for us. Why we would like to use the CCS network. Tesla will be coming out with adapter. They have it out in South Korea already. Some people have imported it in the United States. Some vehicles in the United States have tested that, so it will work. The new S and X can use the CCS with an adapter, and we're not that concerned that we won't be able to charge it at higher rates if we do ever use CCS. So, but if there's something else, hopefully there's not some other major news change, but we'll be happy with what we get.
Yeah, I can't really imagine they'll be too much different. I guess time will tell, though. On that note, though, new semi was spotted. So this was actually spotted recently, and there's some notable changes to it that make it obvious that it is new. But also, Giga Nevada has started a limited production of the Tesla Semi.
What are these ads that you have over here?
I don't know. I'm on incognito.
But go look at go scroll back up. There's like mature theme park. What?
Okay, well, don't look at any of these ads. This is on incognito mode. I don't know what any of this is. I need an ad blocker stat.
Yeah.
But anyway,
AdBlock Plus.
Some new stuff going on with the Tesla Semi. Great to see it. A lot of people still think that the Tesla Semi is vaporware, and I know somebody recently tried making a smear campaign against Tesla and maybe even trying to rally people up to do a lawsuit against Tesla regarding the Tesla Semi and how they've been misleading investors and are using it as vaporware.
We've seen they definitely exist. We've seen them driving under their own power.
It's definitely Tesla Q that was
We've seen them
that.
Here in Colorado. We've seen them in California.
Yeah.
They do exist. They're not in production. They're behind schedule. Elon says they're not coming out until next year, but Pepsi and some other people are still talking that they are expecting deliveries soon. And we have heard that they're building like mega chargers for these ones for Pepsi.
Yeah.
So it's possible that they're going to be releasing, maybe on a test basis, but give them to a real customer, let them try it out on a limited basis. But we have seen too that the mega chargers being built at like the Gigafactory there in Reno, installed there for use. So definitely they're making progress. They might be behind schedule, but they are coming.
Definitely. Next up, so there has been an accident in Paris. I don't know if any of you have heard about this, but it is a sudden unintended acceleration accident seen in a Model 3. Yeah. Now, to date, just to remind everybody, all these sudden unintended acceleration claims that people have had, 0 of them have been proven that it was truly sudden unintended acceleration, that the Tesla did it on its own. Not just Tesla, but a lot of third-party companies have looked at the results and verified it that it is due to an improper input by the driver. such as the accelerator pedal being pushed instead of the brake. Well, this is another case. It's actually a driver of a taxi service in Paris that I believe they have like what 35 Model 3s or something like that. And he was off duty. Actually, he was driving his family to go get food at dinner, I believe, and the car took off. Now, there is some footage of this that I'll go ahead and show real quick. And I can't imagine, based on all our experience with FSD Beta, with Tesla's Model 3, S, X, Y, all of them, we've never seen a car accelerate this quickly on its own.
Especially under autopilot. There's no way.
No way. So we'll go ahead and show you this
Make
real
it full
quick.
Screen.
We're going to go full screen here, and you'll see it fly by this CCTV.
Blink.
So it is right there, flying by, and all the crowd just like, oh.
Wow, they're like, somebody's going too fast.
Unfortunately, a gentleman did pass away in this accident. He was actually riding a bike and was hit and dragged. It's very unfortunate, but I think so many people are just so keen to just blame everything but themselves, and no one wants to take accountability for their own actions. It's kind of sad.
And as we've seen in the past too, if you are driving and you put your foot on both the brake and the accelerator at the same time, the brake will override. It has more power than the accelerator. We've proven this in videos, and you'll receive a message saying that you're pushing those, and you'll get a warning. So the only way that this could really happen is if he had his foot on the accelerator and not on the brake.
Yes.
And again, we've tested on autopilot. If you have autopilot on and you're at a stoplight, if the light turns green and the car does go, it does not launch, like that. It will accelerate gradually, but it does not launch like that. Especially down a street like that, it's not going to take off.
It's not. I don't want to say it's not possible, because anything is technically possible.
But on autopilot currently, and there's so many safeguards and stuff like that. And especially too, if it would see the cyclist, it would slow down.
Exactly. So it is very sad situation, but I have a feeling
there's lots of other injuries. I think there were dozens of people who were injured.
Yeah, there were like 20 people that were injured,
and
3
fatality.
Serious, 1 fatality. So this isn't like a whoopsie, but I think he's trying to use Tesla as a little scapegoat. And it's like, stuff happens, and like maybe you hit the wrong pedal, but I have a feeling once we really see the outcome of this investigation, it will be just like every single other one that has tried to blame Tesla, and it was a driver.
Because everything is logged. Tesla can, down to like milliseconds, they can tell what pedals are pushed and at what, how far you push them in. So Tesla will be able to release this information. But third parties can use the right hardware. They're able to access this information as well, separately, independently from Tesla. They should see too that this is most likely a driver error.
Yep. Very sad, though. So, someone did lose their life, which is not ideal. We'll say that for sure. So next up, there has been an update that has rolled out.
Yeah, a couple 2021.44 updates. One is .5, then shortly thereafter they came out with a .6. And we had mentioned in the past that the active road noise reduction is starting to roll out. A lot of people are, so basically though, that's only going to be in the new Model S and Model X, the 2021 Plus models that have been released since June. But basically they have the hardware in there for, originally it was called active noise cancellation. Tesla's changed it so it's now called active road noise reduction, and uses microphones in the cabin and the speakers to kind of cancel the noise out, or at least reduce it a little bit. So that is rolling out, but people aren't necessarily seeing that directly in the release notes. And it sounds like the way it's happening is that the car needs to calibrate those microphones and speakers a little bit.
Do you want to tell people where they are located?
Well, they're located in like kind of like the headrest in the driver and passenger seat.
Right here.
Right around here.
Right
and the owner's manual also says that they are in the rear seats, but the documentation says only the ones are in the front seat. So we haven't checked on that. We need to double check to see. That might be something that they're no longer in there. That might have just been a manual.
Currently it says the rear seats only have microphones.
Yeah, but we haven't confirmed that yet. But basically this is going to only be on the newer S and X, but don't necessarily see it as soon as you install the software, but you might see it a day or two later. If you go check your audio settings, you'll see something where it says the active road noise reduction is enabled, and you can turn it on and off. Some people are saying they can definitely hear it. They can definitely tell the sound is quieter or muted when they're driving. Other people can't tell at all. And I've seen a video of it. We'll do our own video once we do get it on our vehicle, but anybody who has full self-driving beta hasn't received it yet, because that's kind of another branch of the code that doesn't have that changed in there yet. So hopefully once we get the S here before the end of the year, we'll be able to do some tests on that. We'll do some microphones around the vehicle and test, and hopefully we can portray that, how it does lower it, but kind of hit or miss right now. But again, this is version 1 of it. I'm sure it will get better as they go along.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the new features. But somebody else pointed out a new feature is uneven tire wear detection. And basically, it'll come up and tell you that you have a. Oh, Eric will fill you in.
Yeah, and so it's in Chinese, so I will translate it for y'all. It does say something about their cars can now detect tire wear and tread depth in order to warn the owner in time about a need to potentially replace the tires, and also make a service appointment, which is interesting. I don't know how they're doing this.
I think
perhaps it's like vehicle slippage, like
I think
the
maybe
tire
with
slippage.
maybe with the TPMS, it knows how many times the
Okay.
wheel spins around.
Interesting.
So if this one goes around 5,000 and this one's 10,000, I mean that's an extreme example, but they can
No, I see that.
Or if you have 3 of them and they're all 5,000, the other one's 6,000, something's different there, and so
Yeah.
they should be pretty even, you'd think.
Yeah. Either way, it is definitely another
But
cool
slippage
feature
is another way too, yeah.
that Tesla is rolling out that nobody expected, and this is one of the reasons why I absolutely love Tesla. Is the cars get better every day, like you get things that you didn't know were possible, and that's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
It's cool what they're able to do.
Yep. Next up, 3G. Any of you old Model S owners?
No, this is not.
Oh no, this is for Powerwalls.
Well, actually, though, we can talk about it.
But,
It does.
yes.
It is going away on Model S and older vehicles
Yep.
that had 3G modems in them.
Yep.
Tesla, for years though, has offered an upgrade for 4G, and it used to be $350 and $300. Now I think it's maybe only $200, maybe even $150.
I think it was $150
So
last.
the price has come way down. But definitely, if you do have an older Model S, I don't think any Model X's are affected. But if you have like an earlier, like 2015 or even older than that to 2012, if you don't know or not, double check with Tesla. But if you have a 3G modem, 3G is being shut down, starting in 2022. So you might want to get that upgraded, so you'll still have access to, maps and navigation. And
Yep.
these other and streaming audio and stuff like that. But also Tesla sent out a notification a couple weeks ago. It sounds like they kind of made a mistake. They sent out a notification showing that 3G was going away, and they sent it to all Powerwall owners. And it turns out the earlier Gateway 1 installations that use Powerwalls have a 3G modem, and we're actually one of those. We have a great Gateway 1 because we had our Powerwalls installed back in mid 2018. So it only has 3G, but it does still have Wi-Fi and Ethernet, and we are connected all 3 ways. So they sent out a notification, but it didn't really affect us because we have 3 different connections. So if the 3G goes away, we're still connected via Wi-Fi and Ethernet. Now, if the power goes out, we can go days or weeks or whatever, but if somehow we lose internet, it would be nice if we did still have the 3G. It remains to be seen if Tesla will come out and eventually upgrade those older Gateway 1s to have a 4G or even 5G modem. But for now, we're just going to use Ethernet or Wi-Fi. Tesla did later send out a retraction where they said, okay, they only sent it out to people who that doesn't apply to. So basically, Gateway 2 owners got a retraction email saying, oh, we're sorry, we sent this out to everyone, you're not affected. But for those older owners with Gateway 1s, just make sure to get your Powerwalls on your Wi-Fi or your Ethernet network.
Definitely. And then I guess kind of going into that, we can talk about our solar update.
Yeah, just a quick solar update. We are in December. It has the shortest amount of daylight in the year for us here in the northern hemisphere. So we are at a deficit. We've generated 772. We've generated 772 kilowatt hours so far this month, but we've used 1,286. So we are at a 514 kilowatt hour deficit. So we're going into our bank, but so far for the year, for 2021, we have still a 5,246 kilowatt hour surplus because we generate so much power between the months of March and October. We have a surplus all those months, and our power company lets us roll over those unused kilowatt hours to cover those darker, colder months of November, December, January, and February. And so our surplus should last us through there. We will probably have an update on that next month because we are seeing some billing things that we need to talk about. We're going to go into this deep, probably early next year. But we are still running at 102% lifetime offset. So that means since we've installed solar, our solar system has covered enough to cover all of our usage over the last like 3.5 years. And so we have 102% offset with 82,888 kilowatt hours produced versus 81,381 kilowatt hours used. And so definitely if you put in a good sized solar system, it can cover everything you need and then some.
Yeah, and on that note, Tesla now still has like their kind of referral program for their solar panels or solar roof.
Yeah, they made a change because in the past, when Tesla got rid of the referral miles for buying a vehicle, they changed it so the referral program only had like a referral credit if you got a solar roof. Now they have brought it back, so there is like a $300 like referral credit for getting solar panels now. So they are offering that again. So if you're interested in solar, you have any questions for us, let us know and we can help you out.
Speaking of, Pete has a $10 super chat. Really appreciate that. Said love the show. Any advice to move along my Tesla solar install? I ordered 6 months ago. No design yet. They asked for drone shots of the roof, and now they're not responding to emails. Email me admin@teslainventory.com, and I will see if I can put you in touch with someone, because that's a long time for no movement.
To be waiting. Yeah. What state do you live in there, Pete? Because I know that in some states they have a lot bigger presence and they're a lot more responsive. Other states they might not have installers, or they don't have any installers, and so they might be like they're not canceling your order, but they're not working on it either.
But they should tell you that.
Yeah, it would be nice. Yes.
Yeah, they shouldn't just leave you hanging. So definitely send me an email, and I can see what I can do to get you in touch with somebody that might be able to help out, because that's not how the process should go. So I'm happy to push a few buttons on my end and see what we can do. He's in California, so definitely they have no excuse.
Oh, wow.
So
that's unfortunate.
Yikes. But yeah, that's basically it for our news session. So
dog cam.
Oh, dog cam, everybody.
They know that.
Well, Kit's standing
he
up
thinks
now.
it's over. We're not done working yet, Kit.
We're not done, Kit.
He's like,
it's not over yet.
He's like, oh, can we go now?
He's like, okay, I guess I'll go lay down. Anyway, so yeah, if you guys have any questions or have anything Tesla related you guys want to talk about, definitely throw it in the comments, and we can go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah, because I know we talked a lot of stuff, but there's still a lot of stuff we probably missed.
Speaking of, Diego is in chat.
Hey,
thanks, Diego, for helping out with the moderation and everything. He said, breaking news. Holiday update coming this Tuesday, hopefully, Elon time. And it's supposed to, I believe, have Tesla FSD Beta 10.8. They're going to skip 10.7, as well as some holiday updates.
I just hope though that
that'll be right.
So I'm hoping that this brings in all those changes that we haven't seen yet, because people have been
the
on
UI.
The FSD beta is missing a lot of functionality that's been released to other cars for the past month or two.
Yes.
And it'd be nice if this one is all combined and brings that together, because we have two vehicles. One of them has FSD beta, the other one doesn't, and it would be nice if we could at least get it on one of the cars.
Agreed.
I'm hoping it's more, double fire or whatever versus last year's update, because last year's update was kind of anticlimactic. I think it just really had the boom box.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have a car that had the pedestrian warning system speaker, there really wasn't much last year. So hopefully this year's update brings back some new functionality, but also some cool goodies.
Agreed. That would be really awesome. Let's see. Mark said, I admit I'm a little bit disgruntled with Tesla. 9 months ago they sent me an email about the MMC replacement. Still hasn't been done. Still nothing on MCU or AP computer upgrades either. I would just fill out a service request and just put MMC replacement.
And that's to basically, if you don't do the MCU upgrade, they did have a recall on the RAM because it was wearing out and it was causing MCU to run very slowly and crashing all the time, and the screen could go black. And so Tesla did kind of a recall on getting that memory placed on the daughter board, and they'll cover that free of charge. If you if you want some of the other new functionality, then you might still have to pay to get the MCU2 upgraded, and you wouldn't want to do that if you're going to do the MCU upgrade because you're just pulling those parts back out. But yeah, definitely contact Tesla about that and request that if you do want to get that replaced instead of doing the upgrade.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. RC Mo said Model S getting new taillights, right? Yes, but probably we don't know when. That's the issue, I guess now. Money Mike said, do you think Tesla prices will keep increasing before decreasing? I don't think it's over. Based on all the news I've read about the supply chain and where we're at with that, I don't think we're going to really see that let off until maybe late next year. Kind of ease up a bit. A lot of the articles I've been reading say they don't anticipate things to kind of go back to normal supply chain wise until early to mid 2023. Hopefully that is not the case, but I know a lot of factories in China are running at reduced capacity because of the upcoming Olympics and stuff like that. They're trying to clear the air a little bit. So I guess unknown, to be honest. Amy said, what's for dinner?
Scott, he's making some sort of turkey meatloaf or something, I believe, with some sort of
delicious
harvest vegetable blend or something. I don't know.
We sound very bougie right now. Yeah. Harvest vegetables.
Sounds very healthy, though.
Very healthy.
He's been busy cooking all day because he
for the past 2 days.
Yeah, basically where he works, he feeds his station, all of his employees. Because they're so busy, they work long hours, and so they don't really have time to take lunches or even get breakfast because they start so early. So he like cooks for 100-something people. So he's been busy all weekend long cooking, and he made breakfast for them Saturday and Sunday, and he's been working on making dinner for them for tomorrow. And he's going to do that every day this week. So he's going to be busy in the kitchen.
The other day that he was busy, we ordered pad thai.
Pad thai, which was very good.
So good. I think you even said it was the best one you've ever had.
It was one of the best. Well, maybe not ever, but it's been the best pad thai I've had for quite some time. Yes.
Nice. Love it. Let's see. Brian said, LOL, I'll get the holiday update in July at this rate. Haven't had a firmware update since October. Stuck at 36.5.1 in a 2018 Model 3 long-range all-wheel drive. We've had those spells too.
That's weird though that a Model 3 would be that far behind. I could see like older S's and X's that don't have the MCU2, but yeah, for 2018, you might if you don't get it, you can do a service request and there's an option there for a software update and say, I haven't got an update in a year or something like that, because the Model 3 should have had the updates. And another thing, you can try setting your software update settings to advanced, but you should have gotten something in the past year.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
So definitely make sure too that you're on Wi-Fi. If you can be on Wi-Fi when you're parked at home or at work,
or even while driving with your phone.
Yeah, another option is do it with a Wi-Fi hotspot on your phone, because for most software updates, they're not going to release those anymore via cell phone unless it's an urgent update. So you do need some sort of Wi-Fi most of the time. So I would definitely check on that first.
Yep. Unordinary Man said, I really like rear wheel steering feature on the Taycan I recently drove. Would like to see Tesla add it to Model S. What do you guys think? Haven't had a chance to drive a Taycan yet. One of our viewers, I don't know if he's in chat today, actually drove out here from the East Coast, maybe Florida or something, with his Taycan, but unfortunately,
I remember
our timing didn't work out because
I remember he was telling us about that.
Were they like out of town, or there was something going on, and unfortunately, timing didn't work out great. So I haven't had a chance to drive it yet, but I did see one of my friends announce that he was actually going to be getting one. So he's local, so maybe I'll have a better chance of meeting up with him and checking it out. But, I mean, new features are always welcome for sure.
We're also looking forward to seeing that on the Cybertruck.
You bet.
So we will be able to try it there. It would be interesting if they added it on the S, but hopefully that's not something coming next month, because it's not going to be on the one I'm taking delivery of at the end of the year.
Yep. Tesla brother said, I hope to get my Tesla Model 3 in 2022. I invested into some crypto and it's doing extremely well. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, we dabble in crypto, but it's a wild market.
Yeah, it's up and down.
So,
it's like it can go way up, but it can also go way down.
I think there was one day, I think it was a glitch in the Matrix, but it said like something that I only had bought a few $100s worth was up to like $150,000. It was in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I don't think I actually could have sold it for that though. And now it's back down to what it should have been. So, let's see.
I don't know where he left off, but Pete was saying, how many miles per month do you guys usually drive? Right now, I don't know.
Miles per month?
I don't know.
I mean, I probably do like 1,000 or two.
Yeah, and then
depends on the month.
And then Scott, who lives with us too, has the S100D, and he probably does about that. He does
probably double
a little
what
more
I
than
do.
that because he drives into the mountains a lot for work. I don't drive really anything.
Your
right
mileage right now is built into mine.
Yeah, because I don't have a car because I'm waiting on my car to be delivered. But before that, I would drive about 1,000 miles a year as well. So probably
per month.
Per month, sorry. Yeah.
It's like God,
yeah,
that's like nothing.
That's nothing. Well, but basically, yeah, we used to at least do a 3,000 to 4,000 miles a month when we had 3 cars. We will have 3 cars again here shortly.
Yep.
But again, that's he's probably asking because we were talking about our solar.
Yeah.
But our solar covers all of our house usage as well as the vehicles.
It covered it when you had to go to work.
Yeah.
5 days a week.
That was kind of right when we extended our solar. We expanded our system to 20.5 kilowatt, and then a few months after that, I started working from home, so I definitely needed that. So I guess once we do get my car, I'm not planning on going back into the office, daily driving, but I still will be driving, maybe 500 a mile a month. We'll see.
Yep. Tesla talks that is your Model X order long range or Plaid? It is long range. Really, one of the big reasons we got the Plaid Model S is because we needed a car for prototyping to get these bad boys
Testing
ready.
That new product, yeah.
Testing new products, content, but a lot of it was like prototyping and just kind of checking it out.
Also, we had originally ordered the Plaid back at the event back in September of 2020.
Oh God, that was a long time ago. Yeah.
And so we wanted that 500 plus mile range, and originally they canceled the Plaid, or they switched it to the Plaid Plus. Then they canceled the Plaid Plus. We decided to go ahead and deliver the Plaid. It's a great car, but I don't know if we really need 3 S's in the garage.
3 S's. We did have 3 S's at one point.
Back in 2018.
And it was a very S garage.
Yeah.
It was kind of boring.
For most of 2018, or at least 9 months, 10 months, we had 3 S's in the garage. And it's nice to have different vehicles, I think, just because they each have their benefits. And I liked when we did have like the Y and an S, because you do different things in different vehicles. And again, we've said it many times, if you can only get one car, maybe the Y, it's cheaper. And
it's the best all around.
Yeah, it's not as nice as the X, but you got a little bit more room, headroom, more leg room, stuff like that. So it's nice to have how they have the different segments of the market, and a 3 is good for some things, a Y other, X, S. So having 3 of the same vehicle, kind of, if you have 3 drivers that need them daily, then no problem. But if sometimes it's nice to have a little more room, like in the Y or the X for the dogs and stuff like that, just because we have big dogs. But good news, dog cam.
Dog cam.
We did take the dogs to the vet. They have each lost about 9 pounds, and so they are doing well on our extended walks over the past year.
Yeah.
But they're pretty tall dogs, so we did take them to the vet in the S100D yesterday, and they're like, their heads are like hitting the glass and stuff like that. So it would definitely be nice if we had a Y or an X. So we're looking forward to the X, so they'll be able to fit in the car a lot easier.
We have a lot of good reasons for the X. More on that later next year.
Yeah.
Mid to late next year. Yep. Rob said my Model Y has skipped FSD beta update, skipped 5 straight to 6. Didn't know 7 was available. Now hearing 8 is coming. Yeah, I didn't know 7 was available either because I'm on 6, I believe, right now. So yeah, it was kind of interesting. Voodoo Vic said, is it too late to order a Cybertruck? Never too late, because you never really know what's going to happen with people's reservations. I would say if you're interested in one, even the slightest bit, I'd get in now and not wait too much longer.
I think they did change it though, so you can't choose like a certain.
You can't choose,
model,
but you can kind of like get your spot.
Yeah, so that when they do start opening up ordering, they'll contact you and you can order then. But right now, you're just going to be having a reservation. Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. Mark said, I tried setting up service for MMC. They basically said, don't call us, we'll call you. Rude. I would keep scheduling it and be like, well, you're going to keep calling me because I'm going to keep scheduling
Or I mean, are you having problems with lockups or the screen going black all the time and your sound's not working? So it's like, if you are having those, I would definitely report it, because there's a recall on that and they should be getting that replaced.
Yeah,
I
they
mean, you can
shouldn't be
still drive
pushing
the
it.
call. You can still drive the car without the screen, but it's really hard to know, what speed you're doing and stuff like that. And it's nice to have the sound of the turn signals and stuff like that. So I definitely think, while it's not totally dangerous, it is a feature. Do need to get that fixed, and they should be fixing that sooner than later.
Agreed. Let's see. Slewdog said, I noticed a nearby supercharger price increase went from 31 cents to 37 cents per kilowatt. Do prices fluctuate, or is this due to inflation? I haven't actually noticed pricing really
I think
change
it's kilowatt
much.
hour, but yeah, he did say kilowatt.
Kilowatt
But
hour, yeah.
But we have seen some prices changes over the year, just especially in busier locations, or they have time, kind of time of use
We've
prices
seen
in
those.
some places. I don't know if that's the case, but yeah, it does seem the prices are going up. But speaking of which, though, over the holidays, Tesla did announce that they will be having free supercharging available in some locations, and those are in spots where they're expecting to have maybe some long lines. And I don't know if you have that map, but Tesla did tweet it out, and it's a lot of places in California and Utah,
And it will
I
be
think
during
in Arizona,
off-peak.
and there's one location in Colorado, but it's way down in southeastern Colorado in Trinidad. And basically, is this saying, if you're in off-peak, hours, then you can charge for free at those locations. So definitely. Maybe try to plan your trip. If you don't want to have to pay, you could try to charge a little earlier or later in the day, and at these locations you wouldn't have to pay.
Yo, so there's a map, and if you go to tesla.com/holiday-supercharging, you can kind of see it there. And they have all the locations. So it's before 10 a.m. and after 7 p.m. between December 23rd and December 26th.
Yeah.
So,
but we have seen the prices for supercharging have pretty much continued to go up over the years, just as prices that the utility companies are charging, and also Tesla has to cover some of these demand charges, because when they do have some of these large supercharger locations, this can cause huge charges towards Tesla, because once you reach a certain level of kilowatts used at one time, they put you into this different rate where they can charge you thousands of dollars, just like that. So
it's kind of like the old phone plans for text messaging.
yeah,
remember those?
Once you pass a certain limit, they kill you
kinda
with
like
these rates. And so they are installing mega chargers or mega packs or whatever, I guess mega packs at some locations in solar to try to offset that and limit it. But prices are tending to go up. But there are some places that have actually seen it go down, or like we said, with these different time of use kind of bills, if you're not charging during peak periods, then it can actually be cheaper.
Yep.
Just got to check your local supercharger and see what it says.
Yep. Let's see. Mark did say it's been a while though, so maybe he should try again for the EMMC. I definitely would, and let us know maybe like next week or something how it works out. Marcus said, have you all seen the guy out in Austin, Texas that is a Plaid in a drag race parachute all installed with the bad wrap job? I don't know.
I have
don't know
not.
who that is. I haven't.
And see, I
see.
I don't know where you're at, but somebody asked about the Christmas. Jim asked about Christmas
Yep,
or
that's right where I was.
holiday decorations. Yeah, we don't have any.
We don't have any upstairs or outside either.
Yeah, maybe I think next year.
Next year, definitely.
We're gonna decorate next year, so kind of mark our words. We're gonna decorate. A little more planned for holidays next year. But Chris there says he's been on 2021.40 for a month on his 2018 Model S 100D. Yeah, we've been stuck for a while. Our S100D, let me see, it's kind of behind too. I don't think we're even on .40, so you're ahead of us on that.
Isn't it like 36 or 38 maybe?
Yeah, and I don't know why it's delayed. So we do have the safety score stuff on that, but it's still on 2021 36.5.1, and it's set for advanced. So yeah, we're behind by 2 months, and so, at least a month, because.
Do we think it's being delayed because of the camera?
I don't know. That's another thing. It's still an Autopilot 2 car. One thing, we could try opting out of the safety score again, because originally we opted in for the safety score, and then we opted back out because we found out that older vehicles weren't getting the full self-driving beta. But then Elon said, okay, we're going to do the camera upgrades, and then Tesla upgraded one of their web pages and said, oh, we're going to give priority to people who have the highest safety scores. So we opted back in. But now we've heard that only a few people have gotten invites that do have that, and we've heard some people have gotten invites and they don't even have the full, the safety score turned on. And so we might as well opt back out. Maybe that will allow us to get an upgrade. I do see Scott's score went down here slightly.
Ooh,
so,
busted.
yeah. He's still in the 90s, but he's not at like 99, we'll say that.
Oh, tisk. Cole said, do you expect auto shift out of park to come in the holiday update for the 3 and the Y? Elon said it would come with the FSD beta rollout. Hopefully, I was kind of hoping that they would kind of carry over a lot of the newer UI with the S and X refresh to kind of like the 3 and the Y.
And that's kind of what we're thinking is what V11 is going to kind of look like. And they kind of, when they rolled out the S and now the X, trying to, give us a little preview of that without actually calling V11. That would be nice if that came out to the 3 and Y now too.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Tesla Talk said, does your ETA show February for the Model X long range? It does. It showed January originally.
Well, August.
It showed like a lot of dates before that, but it did show January prior to showing February. What I can see on like Twitter, almost everybody, I think there's only a handful of people that had January that kept it, was pushed to February. And we are one of the very few probably that ordered it in 2020. Some people, I think they said they ordered it in like mid 2020.
Yeah, or like September and stuff like that.
So there are some that have still ordered it longer.
I've seen several people have started to get delivery dates recently. Again, some of them still say February delivery, but they're getting VIN showing up, and then they're getting calls or text messages saying, okay, we're ready. So that February date, don't think it's 100% set in stone.
Tesla should call us and say they're ready.
Hopefully. The only thing is we're taking delivery of the S. Okay, but yeah, we would take it if they had it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say no.
No, definitely not. Never say never.
But then we're going to have to clean the garage because to fit 4 cars in there, we're going to move things around.
True. Let's see. Brian said Northeast, I've seen supercharged prices go up about 5 cents per kilowatt hour on average. So yeah, maybe it's kind of like across the board. Interesting.
Yeah, I just wish that superchargers would stay low. They're still cheaper than gas for the most part.
Yeah.
I just thought years ago though that since supercharging does take longer than refilling an ICE vehicle, I was hoping that by paying less, you're going to deal with the longer charge times and longer refueling times. But it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case if they continue to raise the price.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just like an interim thing due to like maybe some power stations not having enough.
But it will be interesting to see though with like the infrastructure plan, stuff like that, where they're going to be really building out a lot more EV charging stations around the country. Hopefully Tesla will be able to get some of those dollars, because there's going to be billions of dollars available for that. And if Tesla could get a share of that, they could put in superchargers everywhere, and that could really help out. Now, there is talk, again, we've mentioned it in the past, where they could open those superchargers up to other vehicles if they're capable of it. But we see that there's a lot of planning that needs to go in that, a lot of organization, because we've seen a lot of the limited tests there in the Netherlands. People are just parking all over the place and blocking stalls, parking parallel, parking, covering 2 stalls. So they can't just roll it out to everywhere. If they do it in the United States, they're going to have to do it on a very limited basis, either at specific stations or maybe have specific stalls where you're only able to use 1 or 2. So you still could use it, but you're not going to block it, because it doesn't do any good to open it up to other cars if you're then going to block all the Teslas.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Or allow them.
It's just going to infuriate a lot of people, and that's.
So they need to plan it and roll it out slowly if they're going to do that. But yeah.
Yeah.
But they did say too that they would charge more for non-Teslas to charge it though. So hopefully by doing that, they won't have to keep raising prices for Tesla owners.
Yep. I'm like 7 minutes behind on chatting, so I'm going to try to work through it. Let's see. Black House Brew said, I have a newer Tesla wall charger. When I plug it in, it automatically sets to 47 amps instead of 48. I can move it to 48. Does that happen to you
I think this is a software issue, and since version 4 or so of the software, we've seen that as well. In the car, if we set, I don't know, is he setting that in the car or in the app? Because typically when we set it with our wall connector, or in the car, and we set the amps, it stays wherever we set it to, whether it's 40, 42, 36, whatever. It stays that. The app since version 4 has always been wrong. So I think it's just a rounding issue or something like that. But we can have it set to 40 and the app will show 39, or we'll have another card to set to 36 and it will say 35. So I think there's just some software issues there.
Oh, he said it was the app. So yeah, that's probably the exact
It's not
issue.
you, it's the app. And
It's not you, it's the app.
Yeah, hopefully they will fix that, because it's probably just a rounding issue. And it looks, your true charging is based upon both the amps and the kilowatts. You can multiply, or excuse me, amps and the volts. You multiply those out to get the kilowatts. And if your volts, your voltage can fluctuate, and so that will adjust the amps too. So that's part of it. But I think it would be nice if they just, whatever you set it to, keep it that, even if you display that, because
display
people,
that,
people are going to complain. It's like, why is it one off? So hopefully they'll fix that in a future update.
Yep. Let's see. John said, is Tesla still rolling out FSD beta for 99 and better? I think I've seen some like 97s and 96s even get FSD beta. So they are definitely rolling it out a little slower than probably originally planned, but hopefully that picks up with the new year. MK said, for the money, would you recommend Model S or Model S Plaid? Well, I mean, I would probably always recommend Model S over the Plaid, because trust me, the Plaid's amazing. I absolutely love it. But very few times can you really utilize that speed and acceleration. So I would probably say overall, Model S is probably a more well-rounded option.
Or for the 3 and Y, the non-performance models.
Exactly.
The performance models are still great.
Exactly.
They're amazing. But most people can't use that. And like, as we've seen, when we took the Plaid S to the track, Eric almost got kicked out for going too fast.
Yeah.
And, so that's the one place you can't even drive on our local track. You can't go over like the 150 or they're going to kick you out. And so, the regular one is fast enough for most people.
Exactly.
You don't need to go over 150 most of the time, and you don't need to go to 0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds most of the time.
I will say,
It is amazing though.
0 to 60 in 2 seconds is so much fun. But
It's a big chunk of change.
it's a big price difference.
You could almost buy an S and a 3 for the price of a Plaid, or at least in the past with the lower prices you could do that. So you could save a lot of money, or you could put that money into Tesla stock or something else.
Now, if you have the money,
if it's
by all means,
definitely.
if it's going to be your only car, by all means, do the Plaid. It's an amazing car. I don't think I've heard of anyone upset they bought Plaid.
Yeah. There's one guy that I heard, but it was because it was a Model S and he wanted an X. He bought a Plaid, he sold it like a week later.
Okay.
But I think he ordered a Y temporarily and then he's gonna get an X. But
It was too
wasn't the
small
Plaid
for him.
because it was a Plaid, it was because the seating position, he had to get down low and he's a little older, so he wanted something a little taller.
Okay, I could kind of relate to that.
But it wasn't because it was a Plaid, but it was a Plaid.
Got it. Chris said, I don't know why software updates can't be uniform. Every version should be pushed to all cars of the model the same day if they're on Wi-Fi. I know they do stagger it a little bit in case there is an issue.
Yeah, because you don't want to push it out and then find out the
everything.
fleet of cars is not able to drive. So I can see staggering it a little bit, but it is odd how if you're on advanced, you'd think that you would get it a little sooner than others. And we've seen it when we had like 4 vehicles and we had my mom's car and stuff like that. And it was weird because we would have our 4 cars all in advanced and she would have hers on standard. And somehow she would still get the update before us. So that standard advance thing, at least, a year or 2 back, didn't really seem to make any difference. And since then, she was over here a couple weeks back, and she didn't have one of the features to view her cameras remotely in Sentry mode. And we're like, oh yeah, you're on an older version, you need to do advanced. We put a car on advanced. That was probably 3 weeks ago. She still hasn't gotten an update. So it does seem like they've slowed down the updates, at least for our vehicles, for the past few weeks. We not seeing any updates. So, but yeah, again, with vehicles too, there's thousands of different combinations because there's all the different models of vehicles, and then whether they're performance or Plaid, whether the different MCUs they have, different wheels. There's so many different hardware combinations that they have to address that in the software. And if they were to push something out and had a bug, you wouldn't want to brick or cause problems with whether it's 1,000 vehicles or whatever. Tesla has to be very cautious and just roll stuff out gradually so they don't cause those vehicles to become inoperable.
Definitely. Next up, Luke did say it's bad practice to deploy to everyone at once due to cost, bugs, etc. Bruce was asking, have I made the video of the S dash taken apart yet? I have a few other things to add. That's why it didn't get posted on Friday. But it will be up hopefully by like Tuesday or Wednesday this week. It was a fun one. I'm not gonna lie. I like taking stuff apart, and that was. And
I think there's gonna be probably a follow up the week after.
Oh,
that.
you bet. Yep.
With even more
deeds.
Stuff taken apart.
Yep. Diego said breaking news. Okay, we gotta find
more breaking news.
I don't know if it's too loud though.
Okay.
I'll be quick. I'll be quick. Da 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 da. I turned it down, so hopefully it wasn't too loud. Sawyer reported today on Twitter that the holiday update will include dancing mode for the 3 and the Y, where the lights flash and everything. Oh, that's cool. Kind of like the Model X, except without the moving doors.
Yeah,
that's fun. We'll have to call someone with a. Oh, your mom.
Oh yeah, if she gets an update. Yeah. Like I was just saying. Yeah. That she hasn't got an update, and we put her on advance like 3 weeks ago, and she still hasn't gotten it.
Yeah. So, it is weird. I don't know how they figure all that out.
Yeah.
Jonathan said my 2021 Model 3 got 2 months ago, or got an update 2 months ago, and never got an update since purchase.
So yeah, that's a lot of cars.
2021.36.
Because two of our cars are stuck. My mom's car is on the .36 as well, and that was like 8 weeks ago.
So maybe
they're holding out for the holiday update.
Maybe they're holding out for that holiday update.
And we have seen in the past, like towards that last week, you might not get it before Christmas, but they do a ton of updates, before the end of the year. So hopefully we'll be getting something here in the next 10 days, or 10 or 11 days.
Yep.
On at least 2 or 3 of the vehicles.
Yeah. Chris even said he's had 100 safety score for 2 weeks and no beta.
That's lame.
That is pretty lame.
Yeah, you might be able to contact them.
I never got an email back. When I had emailed that email address,
some people said they did, but it's like, what is it, FSD beta at Tesla.com or something like that? Try that, and you could say, hey, why am I going to get an update? I have 100 safety score.
Yeah, it's kind of crappy. Slew Dog said a coworker is shopping for a used Model X. Best he found so far was a 2018 7-seat, 15,000 miles for $105K.
Wow. That's amazing.
I told him he could get a new one with the same specs for $5K more if he wanted to wait a year.
Yeah. So you don't want to wait a year.
I've had several friends also buy used X's, and a couple of people even on Twitter did, and they paid, I think, right around 105 as well.
Yeah,
and I think our build is what, 90?
It's
for the brand new
something
refresh.
Like that, yeah. Because we were locked in since we ordered a year ago.
Yeah.
We were locked in at the older prices. There was a price increase that went up slightly, but we still have a discount of like a couple thousand. But it's still way less than that, I should say.
Yeah.
But and you can't really wait. I know some people can't wait a year for a vehicle. So I have heard a lot of people like waiting on the X. They're like, they bought a Model Y to tide them over, and then you should be able to sell that. Once X comes.
That's like almost one reason why I wish we would have kept the Y right now.
The Y, yeah, because we were.
It would have been handy for a lot of the things that we've been doing lately.
Yeah, but we sold that back in September or so.
Yeah. Pierre. Oh, so MK said I ordered my S May 16th, and it says delivery estimate of February.
Yeah, hopefully
it's like
for the S. Well, that's
for the S. That's not too bad, I guess.
I mean, we're saying, but he ordered in May, so we're like, wow, that's pretty good. It's only it's less than a year.
We ordered in December or January the long range, and we're just now getting it. Yeah. So that time range is actually shorter than ours.
And some people, it's funny because there's always somebody who says, oh, I ordered 3 weeks ago and they just called me with a VIN. Ugh. So some people just luck out, and they're like, if you're located, where they have like somebody canceled their order, they've got one on the parking lot and they're trying to get stuff pushed out by the end of the month. So you never know. If you're ready and you can take delivery in the next 10 days, you might get lucky.
True. Pierre said, do you plan to update the brakes? I will have news on that in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks, we will have a brake update. Okay. Secrets. Sorry, Diego, but some things have to be a secret. Let's see. MK is getting a white on white as well. Great color choice. You will love it. Guaranteed.
We've had several.
Asterisks, not an actual.
We've had several white on white. We've had several white on black. We've had black on white.
We've had white on white 3, Y, S, and X.
Yep.
Literally, and love them all.
Autopilot 1, 2, and 3.
The only reason the Plaid does not have white interior is because at the time I needed a vehicle for some prototype stuff, and
it was going to be a couple more months to get white.
Exactly. So we were just like, whatever, just ship it here, we'll take it. Let's see. Amy said both of the cars got updates at the exact same time.
We have seen that sometimes in the past too, where we'll get maybe not the exact same time, but within like an hour or two. It'll be like Model S, Model X, or not Model S, Model Y, and Model 3 all get an update within a couple hours. So it's nice when it happens, but it hasn't happened in a while.
Rob said the breaking news volume was perfect.
Okay, we'll have to remember that.
Got it locked in, baby. Let's do it. Tony said, I haven't gotten anything since 2021.36, 2017 Model S 98. So it seems like everything is stuck on 36.
A lot of them. I mean, some people are still getting that 44. I mean, a lot of people got 40 and then now 44, but none of our cars. Well, you have like 40 on, but that's the full self-driving beta.
Yeah, so that's
you haven't even gotten an update in several weeks, though.
Yep. Amlet asked, is that a functional supercharger?
Well, it is a supercharger, and it
Go ahead and hit the lights.
Well,
it actually does have LEDs up top and right there.
And so this is a V2 supercharger, so it's got this really thick, heavy cable.
Well, the dog's interested in it too.
And we did open it up. We have a video. You might drop the link in there.
Look for it and drop it in chat.
We did open it up when we got it, and you can see it's got all the necessary innards for a V2 supercharger where they can connect in all the cabling and wiring. It doesn't have, since it's V2, it doesn't have like the cooling fans and pumps and stuff down the bottom that V3 superchargers have. It can't supercharge unless you have also the necessary charging hardware that would connect to this that would cost tens of thousands of dollars. So no, this is not functional, but you could take this and hook it up with the other supercharger cabinet and then it would be able to work, yes. But basically Tesla back in the day had these, before they had the Model 3, their stores in like malls and stuff were very empty. They had like a sled for the Model S, frame and showing the motors, and then they had a Model S. That was all they had for sale back then. Then they started bringing about the X, so they got rid of the sled, and they started getting rid of this about the time when the Model 3 came out, just because they needed more room in the stores. And so we were able to pick this up. Somebody found it in a dumpster, and Eric purchased it, and we have had it ever since.
That is one of my most prized Tesla possessions.
Yeah, and it looks like you did drop the link in there.
Yep,
so that's the video where we open up the supercharger and you can see everything. And also, if you watch at the beginning of our live stream, there's a clip showing us opening it up and like looking in awe at the inside. So we haven't opened up in a while, but yeah, it's there.
Yep. Let's see. Luke said Giga Texas opening party early 2022 per Elon's Twitter. Yep, saw that. So earlier today, we had a very busy day actually. My parents brought over some trees. We had lunch with them, and then we finished
the next stage.
Grouting.
Yeah, we are almost done.
The next bathroom.
Yeah, so for those of you who know, we've been remodeling this bathroom. It's been the remodel that's been going on for...
Well, we started with the master bath.
Yeah, and then we started this one earlier this year, but the goal is to be done by Friday. So we only have a couple more things, and then we will have a 100% functional bathroom on this floor.
So, yeah.
Looking forward to that. But yeah, major progress there.
So yeah, we were a little out of Twitter sphere earlier. Let's see. Michael said, you are doing an excellent job, Derek. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. RP said, I sold my 2020 Model S long range with 22,000 miles for $83,000 last week. I placed an order for a 2022 Model S Plaid on 12/17. I was swift on funding, delivery scheduled for 12/29.
Well, see, that's one of those people.
12 days?
Yeah, see.
Holy crap.
And
that's
Plaids
awesome.
are a lot of, again, they do have a lot of Plaids, it sounds like, that are like, I think they made a few extra because those, they get a higher margin on those. So if they can deliver a few more of those before the end of the year, that's like an extra $40,000 or something that they can count on the balance sheet. And so it does sound like they have a lot of Plaids available around the country. But also I think a lot of people, when they were placing their orders last year, there was like only $100 order fee, and a lot of people was like, okay, I'm gonna order this and I'm gonna order that, and people were putting in orders for 2 or 3 cars, and so maybe Tesla made those orders weren't canceled, and now they're shipping them out, and the guy's like, yeah, I don't want any more, it's been a year, I bought something else. And so they might be getting some canceled orders, but I think a lot of it is just into the quarter, so they're putting out the Plaids, because if you have the choice between selling a car for $140 or selling it for $100, they're going to try to sell the $140,000 car.
Definitely.
With that said, I think that our S is going to be in the 80s for something because we are still locked in at the older price. I think price has gone up like $18,000 since we placed our order.
Yeah.
So we are looking forward to saving all that money.
Let's see. He did follow up, or RP said, could I have gotten more? Question.
That's still.
It was involved with one minor fender bender. LOL.
I don't know. That's still pretty
it depends.
good.
Since you LOL'd after the minor fender bender, how minor was it?
Yeah. But I mean, 83,000 on an older car.
2020?
Yeah. So
LR Plus, that probably was pretty darn close to MSRP.
It's just, it's probably more than, about what he paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nareen said, I want to sell a 2017 Model X with 8,000 miles. That's really low.
Yeah.
MCU2 installed. Huge plus. And FSD included. Ceramic coated. Not sure what to ask for it. I mean, that's a good combo you got there.
Yeah, because
I don't know. I don't know what a 2017 necessarily would go for, but it seems a lot have been going for like the mid 90s to mid hundreds.
Well, 100
or like 105K. Sorry, not like 150.
But it just depends. I would check out Tesla's site and see what they're selling for too, because
I guess it depends. Is it a 75D or a 100D?
Yeah, that's another big difference there.
Yeah.
Or it could be a 90.
Oh, it could even be a 90. Yeah.
Back then, but also if it was a 90 and it had free supercharging, it wouldn't transfer though because it's a 2017, so it wouldn't transfer.
Yeah.
But, it's just weird though because prices have continued to go up over the past few months, and it's amazing how cars that are like 3-4 years old are selling for close to or even more than what they sold for back then.
Yeah, it's wild. Jim, thank you for the reminder. We forgot something huge in the news. Elon was voted or claimed Man of the Year by Times Magazine.
Yes, quite the honor.
I can't believe we forgot that.
Yeah, but also it was funny because there's been these Twitter wars back and forth with him, and Elizabeth Warren is saying that he's not paying enough taxes, and he pointed out, I will be paying more taxes than any person in history.
Yep.
And so it doesn't sound like she knows all the details on how many billions of dollars he will be paying.
So the other beef I have with Warren, I'm just gonna, I don't have my pedestal yet.
We're not trying to be political.
No.
But there's lack of
knowledge.
Yes.
Lack of awareness. She also is using Elon saying he's a freeloader and never paying any taxes as an ad on Facebook saying, will you donate $10 to me to help for money fight this?
Because he's a billionaire and she's begging for money. Yeah.
I don't get it.
But what's weird is if you look at Elon and what he has done over the last 20 years with, he PayPal, he pretty much invented online payments.
Yeah.
Which is now everybody does online payments. With
literally got PayPal earlier today.
With SpaceX, reusable rockets. NASA, nobody ever had reusable rockets. That was all science fiction. And they were able to bring down costs and make things, turn around rockets and launch them much faster now, thanks to SpaceX. And EVs, nobody really made a real EV long
GM
range.
did, and then they destroyed them all.
But it's like he's done so many good things for the world, and yes, he's made billions off of it, but he's also paying billions of dollars in taxes. So you can't say he's a freeloader. Well, you can, but it's not true.
Yeah, agreed. But yeah, it's just kind of a hot mess. It is what it is. I don't like how people are like using Elon to try to raise money with false narratives. I don't like that. I don't play that way. Tony said, today I got a ride in a new Plaid and then a Lucid. Plaid is king, smoother, quieter, faster, and race your car.
Yeah, good to hear.
Love it. Let's see.
It's definitely so much better. I mean, I still love the S100G, but the Plaid that we have, it's just so much nicer everywhere, and the interior is better. I mean, the Lucid, we know, I haven't been in one in person, but it has a really nice interior in the Lucid, but they're still missing a lot of stuff that the Plaid or other newer Teslas have.
Yep. RP actually sold his S to AutoNation Honda.
Oh.
He said he got an offer from 80K from Vroom and 81 from CarMax, and I guess AutoNation Honda came in at 83.
More, yeah, definitely pays to call around.
Look around by all means, because looking around made him an extra $3,000. Can't say no to that.
Yeah, look, and then he said later he only bought it for 79, so he made money. He
holy
drove that
crap.
car for like over a year,
Yeah.
put all those miles on it, and had a minor fender bender and still
He said
made money.
it was a $1,500 repair on paint and a scrape.
Yeah, so that's not too bad.
That's minor.
Yeah.
Okay, since you LOL'd after the minor repair or minor fender bender, I was like, wait, how?
So
minor
it was real
that?
minor, not
Yeah.
minor.
Yeah. Rob said, any update for what happened to your race car Model 3 after you sold it? Yeah, it crashed, and I think he got it rebuilt.
Yep.
So for any of you that are unaware, I had a race car Model 3. It was a huge baby of mine. I absolutely loved it.
We went to SEMA, went to Japan.
Debuted at SEMA, went to Tokyo Auto Salon.
We were
in
gonna send it
Japan,
to the Geneva Auto Show,
Geneva Auto Show, and
but that's when
the Ring.
everything shut down. Yeah, Nuremberg. And we're going to
Nürburgring.
go all over Europe. Unfortunately, that's when Europe and travel shut down, so we actually just brought the car back.
Yep.
And then we had it,
But-
and then we sold it.
Sold it, and then not even 24 hours after selling it, I don't think. Maybe it was 24. The buyer called me, and he had crashed it
Oops.
around a roundabout. I guess he spun out or whatever, hit a curb, took off the back wheel, hit a pole. Didn't look pretty. I think last I heard from him, it was like 16 grand in damage or something like that. But that's why you don't buy a car if you don't know how to drive it. Maybe? I don't know. It is what it is. He never sent me any of the video footage or anything, so I have a feeling it was him doing some things he probably shouldn't have been doing on a public road anyway. Anywho, let's see. Chris said he's getting $60,000 quotes for his 2018 Model S 100D with 40,000 miles, hardware 3, MCU 2, clean history, and then they're selling it on Tesla used inventory for 73.
That price actually seems a little low. And he mentions the 73, but
Yeah.
I think you could get a little bit more than that.
I think you could easily get 60 to 70 via private sale, maybe even 70 plus private sale. If you're getting quotes, it's gonna. Oh, I just hit the. It's gonna be from like Vroom and all of them others. They use the way they figure out car values can be skewed, so you're always gonna get more via private sale. So you could easily try that too.
Because that sounds really similar to our 2017, but it
Yeah.
has fewer miles, and I think you could get a little bit more than that.
I agree. MK said my sister has a 2017 Model S with 20,000 miles. She bought it earlier this year for 55K. Should she sell? She could probably sell it for.
She could probably
another
sell it for
10K
more than that. Yeah.
Yeah. Depends on if it's a 75D or not, but. She
Oh
could,
yeah.
She could probably either way sell it for.
But if
more
it's
than
100,
55K.
definitely she could get more than that if it's 100.
Yep. RP said Tesla offered him 59K.
Well, yeah.
Tesla's trade-in offers, I hate to
often
say it,
not that great.
are often not that great. We did get one good one, but it was a car we had for like 3 weeks.
Yeah. Basically, we bought like was it the rear
SR
wheel drive?
Plus.
Yeah, so it didn't have the range, and then 3 weeks later they had like a long range one available in the right configuration with the right interior. So we went ahead and just traded it in after 3 weeks.
Yep.
But their trade-in values aren't always the best.
Yeah.
But some of them have gone up, and I saw somebody said that they've been waiting on delivery of their Model S, and they put in their trade-in information. I don't know if Tesla is still giving the instant trade-in quotes, but he was putting it in, and he kept updating the miles, and it kept their trade-in value, even though the miles were going up. The offer for him for his car kept going up
Oh, wow.
like every week,
Interesting.
as long as they were still doing those instant offers.
Yeah. RP said, I love Elon. He has changed the world. I would have his babies if I had a uterus.
Funny, we know somebody else.
That's so funny.
Remember when we were at the Gigafactory
Oh, yeah.
Reno?
With the opening party.
Opening party when they were doing that. There was a woman behind us, and she was quite inebriated, and she was wanting to repopulate Mars with Elon, and she was letting everybody there know, yelling as loud as you can possibly imagine. We almost went deaf because she was standing right behind us.
And the
but
funny thing is, she couldn't go home with Elon, so she went home with
some
two
Australian-
Aussies.
Yeah. She was. I think she was trying to get us to go home with her, but that did not work out.
Barked up the wrong tree, boo. Yeah, it was pretty funny. But yeah, it was a funny story. Maybe someday we should just have story time. God, that was good.
Yeah, we have a lot of them.
David said taking delivery of my rear-wheel drive 2022 model
Probably
on Thursday.
3, yeah, Model 3, because I don't think they have anything else rear-wheel drive.
Look, kid's all scared because he hears Scott in the kitchen. Nice. That's awesome.
What
Congratulations.
happened to Layden's ears? Check out the dog cam.
Oh yeah, look at Layden.
Her ears got flipped in
Layden,
out,
what's
inside
this?
out.
Layden.
What's going on? Normally her ears aren't like that, but when she's like this, we call her Princess Layden because she
Yeah.
looks like Princess Leia.
I'm trying to get her to look at the camera. Layden, what's this? Yeah, you can kind of see her ears.
Kit might have been
it's pretty
cleaning her
cute.
ears because it's not windy down here, but her ears will do
Pretty
this
cute.
if it's really windy outside. But we're down here, so I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, somebody's asking what time is the Christmas morning live stream?
Wait, is Christmas on Sunday this year?
It's Saturday.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Well,
Are we gonna?
we have some plans on. Well, I mean, we have family and stuff.
We do have family
coming over, so I don't know. We might be able to do a quick video on. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We could do a quick happy holidays, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll
But,
figure it out.
Yeah.
Definitely keep an eye on like Twitter and the channel, and we'll announce when the next live stream will be. David said, "How much do you suppose a Model 3 2022 rear-wheel drive would be worth to flip?" That I don't know. I really haven't looked too much at Model 3s
But
lately
that's
as to
brand
what
new
they're
too,
going.
and you got to
Yeah.
be careful.
That's the one he's like getting on Thursday, I think.
Oh, but you got to be careful though, because we saw in the past
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
mentioned that if you flip a car right now, Tesla is watching, and they don't want people flipping cars like that because then they will consider you a dealer, and they will like perhaps ban you from buying more cars. And yes, we go through a lot of cars, but we drive them as our daily driver for months. Or we trade them in, but we're not trying to make money on this. But so if you try to flip a car that you just take delivery of,
Just be careful.
You might get on the naughty list.
Yo. Oh, it's that time of the year again. That was great.
Yeah.
Perfect timing. Diego said, "Raise your hand if you want new segment story time with Derek."
Yeah.
We've seen
And we need some more.
some
And we need some
crazy
more.
Tesla
We
stuff.
never finished the soapbox thing either. So we need to come with a
Yeah.
little. We could have a story time, and we could sit down in front of the fire and.
Oh yeah, in the car.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
'Cause it has the
So
fire?
give us some. We gotta write this
Yeah,
down. We gotta
okay.
do this, and we can have some
Yeah.
story times and,
Okay.
and little transitions. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some pretty crazy, wild Tesla stories. It's pretty fun stuff, actually. I'm just going through some of them in my head, and I'm just like, man, never would have experienced any of that besides with Tesla. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. I think we are caught up on questions. Wow. We have been live for almost an hour and 45 minutes, so we'll probably end up going ahead and calling it there. Huge thanks to everyone for hanging out and helping answer questions in chat. Thank you all so much for the questions. You might not realize it, but this part of the segment, like live stream, is actually a lot of fun for us. It's fun to like talk to other like-minded Tesla people and answer questions, or
We love
have
it when
you
we
guys
have-
answer our questions.
Yeah. And we love it when we have the answers, but we also love it when we don't have the
Yeah.
answer and we learn something too.
Yep, definitely. If you had any questions that we didn't get a chance to get to, really apologize for that. But as soon as this video ends, this live stream ends, YouTube will put it up, and you can go ahead and comment on there, and we will do our best to answer
Hey,
everything
before you
there.
cancel though, did
Oh,
you
what?
or before you stop, did you
Oh,
show
this
the
is breaking
tweet when
news.
you did for the Cybertruck winner?
Oh yeah.
So basically,
If you haven't seen, we gave away one of the
it's right over here. Like here, you
Mattel Hot Wheels. You can get the box over there.
okay,
Just don't break that. He's gonna break it.
But basically, we gave one of these away.
Yeah,
It's like
we gave one of those
3,000
away.
3,283 pieces. Here, to take that.
Why do I have to hold that?
I was gonna get the box. Where's, oh, there's the box. There.
Anyway, we gave one of these away. The winner was announced, and she actually received it, and she's going to be putting it together on
We know
Twitter,
that she's
so-
doing on her Christmas vacation or
Yeah, I know,
whatever. so
right?
that-
That's gonna
putting
be
that
out
together. But
all on
it's definitely
Christmas.
so it's kind of like Legos, but it's
Yeah.
what is it called? Mega or what? Are they
Mega
called?
Blocks.
Mega blocks. But it's basically compatible with Legos.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty cool thing. It'll keep you busy for a while.
I don't have a place to put this now. I feel like it's a baby. It feels like a baby.
It
Take
costs
the
as
baby.
much.
Take the baby. But yeah, huge thanks to everyone for hanging out. And again, huge thanks to our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean. If you haven't heard of them, definitely check them out. I'll link down below. And using code Tesla Inventory will get you 15% off of your first purchase. Like I mentioned though earlier, we just got the final design of the Refresh S and X screen protectors, both front and rear, in clear and matte.
And they
we
already have
just
these for the 3
got
and the
these.
Y.
Yeah, they already have these on
And the
3
older
Y.
S and X.
But we just verified the fitment and everything with these, and they are good to go. So these will be hitting the store soon, and you can actually sign up on their website with your email, so you're notified when they're actually available. I would definitely recommend that so much hard work has gone into those. I really hope you guys
So many
appreciate it.
prototypes.
So many prototypes, and actually we will be discussing kind of all that when we make the install video. Really appreciate all their help and support, and love it when I hear such good things from all you guys about all their great products. I think that was a long intro. Sorry. Long-winded. Lots to say. Anyway, that's basically it. We will see you guys during the week for a fun video tearing apart the Model S Plaid interior. It ended well.
It's broken.
It's broken. But definitely look out for that video, and hopefully we can do some kind of live stream next week. And if we don't, though, definitely enjoy the holidays with your family, friends, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.